Hello, everyone. I want to really welcome you to my live broadcast this evening or this morning, wherever you are joining me all around the world. I want to welcome you. This is going to be powerful. I've titled this message, Leadership is Not Automatic. Leadership is not automatic. This is very true. It is not automatic. So I want you to please start sharing this video with everyone that you know all around the world before I get started. This is going to be really good. It's going to be good. So I want to encourage you to, start sharing this video with everyone that you know all around the world. We're going to have a good time right here tonight. So we're going to talk about leadership. Leadership is not automatic. It is not automatic. So kindly start sharing this video. I want you to do that right now before we get started. I would love to have as many as we can before I start this live conversation about leadership. Leadership is my passion. This is what I love to do. This is what I love to teach. This is what I love to talk about. And I have dedicated my life for this cause, leadership. I really, have this passion to help millions of people all around the world to understand what leadership is all about. Many people don't even know who they are. Many people don't understand the power that they have within. Most people in the world will die without living their true potentials. And this really bothers me a lot. This makes me cry every day. Seeing many people living below their true potentials. I really believe that this message is going to help someone. This message is going to touch a life. And this message is going to transform many lives all around the world. So kindly share this with everyone that you know before we get started. This is going to be really good. I'm going to be talking about why leadership is not automatic. It's not automatic. Before I start, I received this gift yesterday. Can you see? I love this guy. I love this guy. Can you just see this guy? This is really good. Special gift. This is more than money. This is really more than money. I love lions. I love animal. I love the nature. And in fact, this is my best animal. This is my best animal. It's my cousin. It's my friend. They love to see me whenever I visit the zoo or the safari. Safari, of course, because we always have a good time whenever we hang out. The lion is my cousin. I really love it. So beautiful gift, beautiful gift. So why do I love the lion? Let me just share something with you before I get started. I love the lion because of the attitude of the lion. Like the lion is one of the two animals that God Himself identified with. God says, I am the Lion of Judah, the Lion of Judah. God didn't say, I am the hippopotamus of Judah, or I am the snake of Judah, or I am the giraffe of Judah, or I am the sheep of Judah. No, God didn't say that. God said, I am the Lion of Judah. God created a lion and God Himself identified with the animal. Why? Because God knows what He puts inside the animal. Inside this lion, the lion is not the most intelligent in the jungle. The lion is not the smartest. The lion is not the longest. The lion is not the tallest. The lion is not the bravest. The lion is not the fastest in the jungle. No, the lion is not. Yet the lion is the king of the jungle. The lion is the king of all the animals. Why? Something is so different about this animal. And that's what I called leadership. And of course, it's just one word: attitude. The attitude of the lion makes the lion to be different from all other animals. So, well, that's just an intro about the gift that I received yesterday. So let's go to today's message. Today's message basically is all about leadership. Leadership is not automatic. I'm going to start this message from a context, from a biblical context, and I'm going to use Daniel as a case study tonight. And of course, I mean, we all know Daniel. Daniel was, was a special, person in his days. Daniel is a special character in the Bible. And if you look at Daniel chapter 6, there is something significant about the case study, about the context of Daniel in that chapter. If you look at Daniel chapter 6 and verse 1, you can see the context about how Daniel distinguished himself. And King Darius actually appointed 120 provinces. Okay, let me just explain that. Let's say in our contemporary days that the king appointed 120 managers 120 managers to be in charge of different territories, right? So out of these 120 managers, the king appointed executive managers, three executive managers. And out of these three executive, Daniel was appointed as the senior executive manager. The Bible says that Daniel proved himself. That's one translation. Another translation says he distinguished himself. Now that's where we are coming to. So he distinguished himself. It is not about the distinguishing. It is not about him being natural, about assuming this leadership position, about attaining this leadership position, but he made a decision. He chose to separate himself among all these leaders, and he was appointed as the top leader in the nation. Can you just imagine? Just imagine that, because Daniel chose to become. See, becoming a leader is not automatic. It is a process. It is something that you must become. Everyone has the ability to become a leader. Everyone has the seed of leadership on the inside. I say that every time because I am convinced about this. When Jesus was teaching his disciples about leadership, Jesus made them to understand that whosoever that wants to be great among you will be the leader of all, will be the servant of all, rather. Whosoever. Now, the word whosoever is a blank check, is an open check to everyone. That means anyone who chooses to be the greatest, anyone who chooses to be the leader among you must be the servant of all. That was an open check that Jesus gave everybody. That means everyone has the ability to become. And for you to become a leader, you must choose to become. That was exactly what Daniel did. Daniel distinguished himself. He made a decision to separate himself. And that was why he was distinguished. That was why he was separated. That was why he was given that power of influence. That's exactly what we are talking about here today. Now, I want to say something about you. I want you to know that you have the ability, you have that, that power within to become a leader. But see, getting to that leadership position is not automatic. And when I'm talking about leadership, I'm not talking about position here. I'm not talking about power here, okay? Because most people define leadership as power. When we see someone that is powerful, oh, he's a powerful person. We see people who are powerful as leaders. No. Don't confuse, leadership with power. Being in a position does not mean that the person is a real leader. Having power, being a dictator does not mean the person is a real leader. Dictators are not real leaders. Leadership is not defined that way. Leadership is not, oppressing people. Leadership is not manipulating people. Leadership is not, it's not controlling people. No, leadership is influence. Now, let me give you a definition of leadership that I put together. I've studied leadership for more than 10 years, and I want you to know that I've read many definitions. I've read many books. I've read hundreds of books, and I've seen different definitions. In fact, most of the definitions are incomplete according to my study. And I put most of the definitions with the Bible, and I discovered because the Bible is my standard book. That is my standard book. All the books that I've released, including Just Jump, including First Steps to Leadership, all these books came out from the Bible, because God has given me this, this gift, to study the Bible and to bring some principles out of the Bible, to help people in the business world. Principles that you can apply to your business, you can apply to your family, you can apply to your nation and transform everything. That's exactly what God has given to me. And that's why I write these books to help people. Let me tell you something. You have the ability to lead, and the definition is very simple. Leadership is the ability to inspire people. It's not just the ability, but the capacity as well to inspire people to do what they thought they couldn't do with a sense of purpose and vision. So I want you to write that down. Leadership is the ability and the capacity to inspire people to do what they thought they couldn't do with a sense of purpose and vision. So there are key words here. If you really want to become a leader, you need to understand each of these keywords. Very important. Leadership is not something you just jump into. You don't jump into leadership. You grow into leadership. You don't become a leader in a day. You become a leader daily. It's a daily thing. Becoming a leader is not a weekly thing. It's not a monthly thing. It's not a yearly thing. It is a daily thing. It's something you become every day. And it is all about a decision. When you make a decision, like Daniel made a decision to distinguish himself, when you make that decision, you need to manage that decision every day. See, Daniel served many kings in his days. He served many kings, and he was consistent in his service. He was consistent in his character. He was consistent in his attitude. That was why King Darius distinguished him, separated him among all the appointed leaders. Because of his lifestyle, because of his leadership. So he was not just a leader, he was a leader of leaders. Okay, so for you to become a leader, you need to separate yourself. You need to distinguish yourself. You need to make a decision to become. And that becoming is done daily. You don't become, you don't work on yourself today and neglect your development for weeks. And then you remember, oh, I need to continue working on myself. No, it is a daily thing. It is a daily thing. So remember, the first thing is ability, right? The number two is your capacity. You have the ability to create a capacity. So, and the next thing is inspiration. Leaders inspire people. Leaders don't control people. Leaders don't manipulate people. Leaders don't oppress people. They inspire people into action. Okay, they inspire people to produce results because they understand that the responsibility of a leader is to produce other leaders. Leaders don't say go. Leaders say let's go, because a leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Now, let me repeat that. A leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So a leader doesn't say go. A leader say let's go. And so if you understand that leaders inspire, leaders don't control, leaders don't oppress, leaders don't manipulate, that will help you to know where you need to start from, because leaders inspire. Leaders inspire people into action. And that's why I love the way John C. Maxwell put it. He said, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing else. I agree. That's true. That's exactly what it is. Influence is different from fame. You can be famous and not be influential. You can be a famous person. Fame comes and go. You can be famous for a period of time, and just, the fame will just disappear. There are many people that were famous, and today we cannot remember, and you cannot remember them anymore. But when you become a person of influence, even death cannot take away your influence. There are people that till today we still remember their power of influence. They are still influencing the world, even though they are dead. Think about Aristotle, Plato. Think about all these guys, Socrates. These guys invented democracy. And today, many nations are being ruled by the idea of these Greeks. Look at all these, these Greeks, they invented this idea. All this idea is still ruling different nations, including United States, United Kingdom, many African nations, because of this idea. Just think about it. Ideas are powerful. That's what I call influence. So the way John C. Maxwell put it is very powerful. Leadership is influence. So let's come back to the definition. So leadership is the ability and the capacity to inspire people to do what they thought they couldn't do. Now, just think about that. You inspire people to do something they thought they couldn't do. Imagine when someone thinks that something is not possible, and suddenly the person thinks that, yes, I can do it. And the person changes his perspective or a perspective about that thing just because of your inspiration. Can you just imagine? That's so powerful. That's why I tell people that everything rises and falls on leadership, just like the way John C. Maxwell put it. That is very true. Everything. The same thing affects nations in Africa. I always tell people that when we get it right in the place of leadership in Africa, everything will be all right. And this is very true. Let me prove that. When you have a team, let's say a football team or a basketball team, if the team is not performing well, now who do they fire? The team or the coach? Who do they fire? I mean, you know the answer. They fire the coach, not the team. Not the team. They fire the coach. They fire the coach, right? They fire the coach. No, so let's now imagine this. If they remove the coach and now bring in another coach to coach the same thing, now the same team that was performing very badly, imagine next year that same team might be the team that will win the tournament. Why? Still the same team, but a different coach. So what makes the difference? Leadership. Now, someone comes in to watch how the team is performing. Someone sees the potential of the team members. Someone sees how to position each of the team members. Someone inspires the team, to produce results. Someone encourages the team. These are the qualities of a leader, inspiring them to do something that they thought they couldn't do. And before you know it, you see the team performing, working together as a team. And the same team will win the tournament. Why? Because of leadership. If a nation has the right president as a leader, let me tell you something. The same thing that happens up there, we cut across the system. If every nation in Africa can get it right at the place of leadership, at the place of presidency, let me tell you what's going to happen. It's going to cut across the system. Now, let's make it real. Let's make it practical. The president always have the governors forum, right? So let's say all the governors, they converge in the room, meeting with this president, the leader, the visionary leader, the leader with inspiration, with motivation, a leader with conviction. Now, let's assume, right, a leader with conviction, because most African nations don't have this. Okay, let's be real. A leader with conviction, a leader with passion, a leader with mission, a leader with influence. Let's imagine this leader is seated with his governors. What do you think would happen? Number one, the governors will respect this visionary, because this visionary will paint the picture of what he or she can see about this nation, that this is what I can see, and this is exactly what I want to do. See, whatever that happens at that level, we cut across the system, because when the governor returns back to his or her state, you know what's going to happen? The governor also will start talking about the vision. The media houses, they will pick up the vision. They will start talking about it. Different organizations will start quoting the president, and before you know it, if the president has integrity, follow through everything that he talks about, painting a new picture, inspiring the nation, and they're giving hope to the nation, the governors will also start doing the same thing. And when the governors are inspired to also lead, let me tell you this, the chairmen in different local government will start, changing their thinking, changing their attitude, just like the lion. Just like the lion. The lion, the attitude of the lion makes the lion the king of the jungle, right? So the attitude will change, because your attitude is the sum total of the way you think, the way you feel, the way you talk, and the things you do. The sum total actually make your attitude. So that's exactly what a leader does. That's the thing that distinguishes a leader from the followers. Leaders used to be followers, but leaders are not followers. Okay, so because the way the leader thinks is completely different. So if we can get it right at that place of leadership, at that place of the presidency, things will change in Africa. So that's why everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything. Now think about it. The president comes from a family. The governor comes from a family. The chairman comes from a family. The local government, councillor comes from a family. Just think about it. So if the president does not have a family vision, how do you expect the president to have a national vision? No, how do you expect that? If a governor does not have a family vision, and that is very true, an average man, an average family in Africa does not have what we call family vision. So if a president, a governor, a chairman, or a councillor does not have a family vision, how do you expect the person to just start creating national vision, state vision, local government vision, community vision? How? It doesn't work that way, because leadership is first private before it becomes public. You don't lead out of your position. You lead out of your life. Let me repeat that. You don't lead out of your position. You lead out of your life, because leadership is first private before it becomes public. So if you don't lead yourself, you cannot lead other people. So sometimes I just smile when people start talking about, problems in Africa. And I'm like, you know what? Leadership is the most important thing. It's the most important thing. Let me give you a case study. I told you I love animals, right? An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Let me repeat that. An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by sheep. What is the problem there? Leadership, right? Now, if all the sheep, if they come together, and if a lion is the leader of all the sheep, the lion can transform the sheep to think like lions, to act like lions, and to produce results like lions. But if the sheep is the leader of the lions, the lion has the potential to think like lions. The lion has the potential to act like lions. The potential is there, right? But if the sheep is in charge, is the leader, the sheep will transform all the lions to think like sheep, And that's why relationship matters. People you hang out with, eventually you become them. If you hang out with 10 foolish people, automatically you become the 11th. If you hang out with 10 wise people, automatically you become the 11th. Think about people that most of these leaders hang out with. And that's why most African nations they are still looking for aids, looking for aids from the Western countries, begging for money, when they have when they have resources. They cannot see. Jesus said, when the blind leads the blind, he said both of them will fall into the ditch. Oh my God, let me repeat that. If the blind leads the blind, he said both of them will fall into the ditch. Wow. Okay, let's talk about that. So the blind is leading the blind. Now there is a word that is a key word there, lead, leading the blind. So that means whoever that is leading is the person in that position, right? Or the position of leadership. So because someone has a position does not mean that the person is not blind. So let's bring it back home. Because someone is a governor of a state does not mean that the governor is not blind. Because someone is a chairman does not mean that the chairman is not blind. Because someone is a father does not mean the father is not blind. Because someone is a president does not mean that the president is not blind. Because someone is a pastor of a church does not mean that the pastor is not blind. Now, because someone is a manager of a team does not mean the manager is not blind. If a blind leads the blind, both of them will fall into the ditch. So let me ask you, who are you following? Who is leading you? Because someone is leading you, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or you don't know it, someone is leading you. You are being influenced by someone. You are being led by someone. The books you read, the movies you see, the music you listen to, the people you talk to on the phone, every time, the people you hang out with, all these people, they are leading you. You are being led by someone or by something. And if you are watching a movie, you are feeding yourself. You are receiving some messages from the movie. You are being led by the movie. And that's why some people act like what they've seen in a movie. That's why some people do some things that they see in the movies. That's why some people say some things that they hear from music, right? Because they are being led by those words. That's why some people also act when they read great books, inspirational books, leadership books. They also respond according to what they feed themselves. So who is leading you? Who are you listening to? Remember, you are being led by someone or something. The books you read, the people you talk to, the music you listen to, the movies you see, places you go, you are always being led by someone. Okay. Thank you very much, Dauda. I really appreciate you for being there. Kindly share this message with everyone. I want to encourage everyone that is watching this all around the world to share this message. And today's topic is why leadership is not automatic. Okay, everyone has the ability to lead, but it is not automatic. It is something that you must decide to become. Okay, it requires a decision, and that decision, and it doesn't stop at that decision. You need to manage that decision every day. I call it decision management, because you don't become in a day, you become daily. Okay, this is very simple, but it is not as simple as the way I'm talking about it, because it's hard. Managing your decision every day is very hard. It's work. Okay, it's work. I completely understand that. So let me give you a tip. I want to give you a tip, something that you can do to develop yourself. Okay, let me give you a tip. This is what I started doing in 2010, and this has helped me a long way. So if you can select, I heard this from one of my mentors. He said, "Do you know that I have developed myself to an extent that I can actually present at any level?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "If you can study a subject every day for at least 1 hour for 5 years, He said, you become an equivalent of a PhD holder. I said, wow. He said, yes. Study a subject at least 1 hour every day and do it for 5 years. You become, equivalent to a PhD holder. That's very true. Every day. Every day. Remember what I said, every day, not every week, not every month. No. Now, or if you study at least 30 books on a specific subject, study 30 books on a specific subject, you become an equivalent of a PhD holder. You become an expert in that area. And that's why I always encourage people to continue learning, because leaders are learners. Leaders are lifetime students. Leaders don't stop learning. Leaders keep on learning. Leaders are best students because they are always, learning. They are always learning. Just imagine if I stop learning today, what am I going to be giving to my clients? I coach executives, I coach leaders, I train employees, I train people who are in leadership positions. What am I going to be giving to these people, all around the world if I stop learning? I have a program, Mohel Leadership Certification Program. Mohel means moving from ordinary to extraordinary life. That's Mohel. There are many people who sign up for this certification program all around the world. So what am I going to be giving to these people if I stop learning? And I tell people, I read every day. This is true. I listen to tapes, I listen to messages. I just make sure I feed myself with something that will help me to grow, to develop, and to advance. And the one thing I do, I give every time, just like I'm giving right now. I give every time. I keep giving, I keep helping people, because our mission is to raise 10 million leaders by 2030. To raise 10 million leaders by 2030. Thank you. Your comment? I love that. A leader says, let's go. That's very true. Leadership is influence. Leadership is the ability to influence people to do things that they thought they couldn't do. That's true. That's very true. So, I like that. When the coach is not performing, they fire the coach. They don't fire the players. Yeah, because leadership is everything. Leadership is everything. So if you want your nation to transform, then fire the president, through your vote. Fire the president and get another president. Now, let me quickly share something which I think is very important. If you want to vote, I want you to check. There are some qualities in every individual that you want to vote for. I'm going to give you 7 qualities that you need to check in every candidate that you want to vote for. And if you are an elected official, if you want to appoint someone, I want you to check these 7 qualities before you appoint the person. If you don't see these 7 qualities, don't appoint the person. The person will not produce a result. Okay. And before you vote, check these 7 qualities. I'm going to give you these 7 qualities. These are 7 qualities that I have researched, I have observed, in leaders, legends, leaders that we can never forget their names. Think about leaders like Abraham. Think about a leader like Noah. Think about a leader like Daniel, a leader like Esther, a leader like Jesus Christ. Think about a leader like Paul. Think about all these people. David. Think about Joseph. Why that we can never forget these names. Think about leaders in our world today, like Martin Luther King Jr., a leader like Rosa Parks, a leader like Mother Teresa. Think about a leader like Nelson Mandela. Just think about these people that we can never forget their names, right? So what is different? What is the thing that is special in these people's lives? Now, I'm going to give you 7 qualities that you need to check in every person that you want to vote for. I am focusing on Africa right now. Every African nation needs to check these 7 qualities before you vote for anyone. And remember, if the leader is not performing, fire the leader. The problem is leadership, okay? The team has a great potential. Citizens in every nation, they have great potentials. The human capital is strong. Just think about it. Think about Africans. Whenever Africans go to different nations, just think about how they explore, how they perform. They perform excellently, everywhere they go. For example, think about Nigerians. Everywhere Nigerians go, Nigerians perform excellently when they have the right environment to perform. When they have the right tools, you see them releasing their true potential. That's exactly what a leader does. A leader creates a growth environment, and you see people exploring. Okay, you see people exploring. That's exactly what a leader does. Okay, let me give you the 7 qualities. Number 1 quality is purpose. Purpose. See, this is interesting. There are 2 C's that always make people to want to become political leaders. 2 C's. Number 1 is conviction, and number 2C is convenience. Convenience. Some people go into politics because of conviction. They just want to change something because they are convinced. They just want to transform something. They go into politics because of that. Some go there because of convenience. And that's why they are corrupt. They just want to chill. They just want to enjoy. They want to control. They want to manipulate. They just want to go there because of their convenience. And that's why they don't perform. They don't perform. They talk about change, but they don't change anything. Well, we're going to talk about that another day, because there is a difference between change and transformation. What African nations need today is transformation, not change. So, number 1 is purpose. Purpose. When a leader does not understand purpose, when a leader does not understand his or her personal purpose, say, don't appoint that person. That person will be dangerous. Because the foundation of leadership is purpose. It's purpose. When someone does not have a reason for doing something, that person is dangerous. It's dangerous. So number 2 that you need to know is mission. Mission. And all these things must be checked in the life of the leader, because you lead out of your life. You don't lead out of your position. Okay, you lead out of your life. When a leader does not have personal purpose, how do you expect the person to understand the national purpose? So the source of a mission is from the purpose, because from your purpose, that is where you create your life mission. A leader must have mission, life mission. Number 2. Number 3, that is very important, is conviction. Conviction. See, I love the story of Mother Teresa. This woman was a high school teacher, and the Mother Teresa, she was working over a lot of poor people that couldn't eat, people that were begging for money, people that were begging for food, nursing mothers, they were crying because they had cancer, different people, they were struggling, they had many problems. Mother Teresa couldn't take it. This woman was a high school teacher. Can you imagine? This woman was very short. Can you imagine when somebody is less than 5 feet? Somebody, she was like a 4 point something feet. Mother Teresa, this woman was not even tall at all. This woman, she said one day, I can't take this anymore. She said, I can't take this anymore. And she went straight to her boss. She went straight to a priest and said, hey, priest, I can't take this anymore. I'm going out there to go and feed the poor. And the priest was like, how can you say you want to go and feed the poor? Where are you going to start from? She said, I'm going to start with my last paycheck. And this woman left the job, resigned, and started with her last paycheck. Wow. That was conviction. She said, I can't take it anymore. She was crying. So let me ask you, when a leader does not come to that, when a leader has not come to that position of, I can't take it anymore. No, I can't take this anymore. That leader is dangerous. That leader cannot transform anything. Anyone that does not have that passion to say, I can't take it anymore, Someone that is crying, that is going into that position to transform something, to do something that people have never seen before, to transform everything. Mother Teresa said, I can't take it anymore. And this woman started from her last paycheck. She bought food, she gave it to people on the streets, until she continued it until she spoke to the United Nations because of her conviction. Because of her conviction. Nelson Mandela went to prison for 27 years because of his conviction. This man was a professional lawyer. He had a good job. Maybe you don't know. Nelson Mandela had a good job. He was a professional lawyer. Professional lawyer. Can you just imagine? And this man went to prison for 27 years. He said, I can't take this anymore. No, I can't take this anymore. This oppression, this manipulation in my nation. And he went to prison for that purpose. He went to prison for that purpose. See, you need to come to the level of I can't take it anymore. Any leader that does not have conviction, don't vote for the person. Don't appoint the person. Number 3. Number 4 is passion. Because the source of your passion is your conviction. When you have a conviction for something, you will be passionate about it. People will feel your conviction through your words, through your action, through your spirits. You will talk about it. You will do something about it. People will feel your energy everywhere you go. The 4th thing that you need to observe before you elect someone into a position is passion. When a leader does not have passion, that leader is dangerous. That leader is going into that position because of convenience, not because of conviction. Remember that there are 2 C's, convenience or conviction. So everyone you see, at a position today, you need to measure them according to the 2 C's, convenience, conviction. Check whether they are there because of convenience or they are there because of conviction. I was reading recently about a Governor Wike. He had a speech, and I saw it on the Channels TV, and he was talking passionately about the Governors Forum, how the Governors Forum is now dead. Why most governors don't even talk at all. They just shut up because they don't have conviction. They shut up. They don't care about what is going on. They've turned the forum to a party, and people don't even talk about anything productive anymore. People don't fight for the rights of their citizens. People don't fight for the rights of their state. They talk about their own personal interests. They talk about their own ambition, not vision. Leaders are people with vision, not ambition. Ambition is all about yourself. Vision is all about other people. So when you don't have passion, when you don't have conviction, you cannot have passion, because the source of your passion is from your conviction. The next thing that you need to have, that you need to check in the life of a leader before you appoint or you elect a person into a position. That's number 5, right? Number 5, we talk about purpose, we talk about mission, we talk about conviction, passion. The next thing is inspiration. See, the source of passion, the source of inspiration is passion. When you are passionate about something, when you have energy for something to achieve a goal, you will become a person of inspiration to others. You will inspire people. You will inspire people into action because of your passion, because your passion will ignite people's potential. Your passion will wake people up. Many people are sleeping. Your passion will inspire people to do something that they thought they couldn't do. The source of inspiration is passion. Now, the next thing that you need to check is influence. Let me tell you something. When you become a person of influence, inspiration, when you inspire people, automatically you will be influencing people. When you become a source of inspiration to people, you automatically become a person of influence, because the source of influence is inspiration. And that is why, by definition, says leadership is the ability and the capacity to inspire people to do what they thought they couldn't do, with a sense of purpose and vision. two words are very key: purpose and vision. So when you influence people, automatically you are a leader. And that's why leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. So check everyone that you know in a position today, with these 7 qualities. If you don't see these 7 things in their lives, say they are not real leaders. Real leaders have these qualities. These are the qualities that I have seen in every life that we cannot forget today, in every living legend. Think about businesses that are growing, that are blooming. Think about organizations that are going global. Think about nations that are developing. Think about nations that are transforming. Think about nations that are producing results. Now you check the leadership. You will find these 7 qualities in the life of those leaders. I've studied many legends and I've seen these 7 qualities in their lives. And if you read my book, you're going to learn more about all these 7 qualities. In fact, I'm writing a book that I'm going to release very soon about these 7 qualities, the qualities that you must focus on before you elect a political officer in Africa. I'm going to release that book and dedicate this book to every nation in Africa. I think this is very important. We need to focus on solving our leadership problem. This is very important. Remember, leadership is not automatic. You have to be intentional to become a leader, because leadership is not achieved in a day, it is achieved daily. You don't jump into leadership, you grow into leadership. Okay, this is very clear. I want to appreciate you for joining me on this live broadcast. I want you to share this video with everyone that you know all around the world. This is going to bless someone. This is going to bless someone. Someone somewhere in the world today needs this message. Make sure you share this message with someone. Okay, share it with your friends, share it with your colleagues, share it with your family members, share with every African that you know all around the world. This is a message that you need to share with everyone, because this will help many people to make decisions in appointing people into political positions. This message will help leaders all around the world. This message will help citizens in Africa to know the kind of people they should vote for, because they need to check all these qualities in the life of the people that they want to vote for. Remember, leadership is not control. Leadership is not manipulation. Leadership is not oppressing people. Leadership is inspiration. Inspiring people to do what they thought that they couldn't do. That's what leadership is all about. Leadership, leaders don't maintain followers. Leaders produce other leaders. Remember what Jesus said. Jesus said, greater works you will do. He said, greater works you will do. So Jesus was actually, hoping that we are going to, that we will do greater works, even more than what he did. More than what he did. Okay. So I want you to focus on doing greater works. I want you to focus on producing leaders, helping yourself. You cannot produce leaders if you don't become a leader, because you cannot give what you don't have. It starts from you. Leadership is first personal before it becomes public. So you cannot export what you don't have. So you yourself become, then help others to become. Okay, that's what leadership is all about. So I want to appreciate you for joining me on this live broadcast today. If you are just joining me, I want to encourage you to watch this video, because I've talked about a lot of things. What you need to do to become a leader, what you need to start doing today to know the kind of people that you should elect into positions, to know the kind of people you should appoint into positions, the qualities that you should check before you appoint people, before you elect people into positions. And then I've talked about things that you should check in the lives of people who we call leaders. I call most of them position occupants. So, and I also talk about the most important need in Africa today, of course, is leadership. It's leadership. That's what we need. So thank you very much for joining me here today. My name is Wale Adekola. I am self mastery expert, international leadership consultant, and a nation builder. One thing I do every day is raising eagles, and I will continue to do this until you succeed. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful time. Keep on leading, and I will see you at the top. Bye for now.